Now, I was thinking that one of the first things we have to do is practice standing in our authority. And, uh, and although we might not be very authoritative and people might not listen initially, we get better at it as we get used to it and start to embody it. So when we all got that message saying that the banks had arbitrarily changed the goalposts, they don't want to exchange money and foreign exchanges anymore, I wrote, as just such a practice, to the South African Reserve Bank. I think they're the main governing body. So please address this complaint against SARB, the Reserve Bank, for acting in violation of and contrary to an order by the International Court of Justice and Bank of International Settlements. We insist that you reverse and cease with immediate effect the ongoing regulatory initiatives advised by SARB's new surveillance department, which amount to obstructive, arbitrary and invalid legislation made up as they go along to protect private interests and maintain the impoverishment of populations and around the world unnecessarily. South Africa has the honour and obligation of being home to the appointed Monetary One, tasked by the Alpha Omega Trust and others to audit and facilitate the great many disbursements for humanitarian projects for which the historical legacies were indentured. The Alpha Omega Trust has already made ample deposits in all nations across the global south and north to back these payments, and there is now a whole ream of international co-trustees and banks preparing to make these funds available. We demand that unqualified international exchange and national payments be facilitated with immediate effect. So without qualification, that they be made available and those payments be allowed. SARB, nor any incorporated governments, local, national, foreign or global, treasury nor banks are in a position to regulate themselves anymore, as the Writ 111 proves that these incorporated bodies mismanaged the loans of these great assets, conduct criminal fraud, violate their own constitutional laws, are now bankrupt and therefore are incompetent to manage their own affairs. South Africa has an opportunity to lead the way in the process that is essentially correcting the banking system. UCC1 Judge Adrian Fons holds the authority that you must defer to as he implements the rechartering of private banks to dispense the asset-backed currency and follow a cooperative strategy, which I believe the government already has started. The fact that there have been more than sufficient assets given to restore culture, support, a regenerative food economy, water security and prosperity should be welcomed with gratitude. In very literal terms, to refuse to facilitate access to the great resources already deposited by the trusts for the restoration of the population would be a tyranny, answerable in the world courts. This is no longer a national decision, if it ever was. International co-trustees are all working with legacy ministers, the signatories to the agreement, Writ 111, and other central banks, revenue and financial services to manage the finance for national and international infrastructure projects and rescue in many cases, after hostile manipulations, industrial, biological, political, military and weather. I will leave my notes below to remind recipients of this complaint what the laws actually are for financial conduct and each department's responsibilities. I also attach the Standard Bank's message to business customers blocking payments and the notice served to all delegates at the World Economic Forum annual meeting this week. Many thanks for your prompt resolution to this complaint and reply confirming that all payments will be honoured as per the order. Francis. So, if you want to have a look at that and maybe choose bits from it that you like, or you want to try your own hand at it, this is what I recommend. It's just starting to say that no random blocks that we meet as we go along as co-trustees remains unchallenged. We've just got to keep moving forwards. This is who we are. This is what we're supposed to do. You need to help us with this. That's the plan from now on.